So much of what we did in St. Augustine was make sure that the artists and the artist management were going, we want to play St. Augustine. You know, if they're putting their East Coast route together, we're going to play DC, we're going to play Atlanta, we're playing St. Augustine, we're playing Orlando, we're playing New Orleans. Like, we're just on this list. We know we're locked in. The agent calls me direct, said, hey, we're playing. And then at that point, I'm like, I don't really care who promotes it. I want the artist to know that they're playing St. Augustine. We know that they're playing. So it didn't really, I try to respect history as much as possible. I know it's hard with a lot of the independent promoters who feel they were doing a show for someone when they were only playing to 200 people, you know, and then all of a sudden they blow up and they're playing to 4,000 people and they kind of get cut out of that. I always like to make sure that we're paying attention to that, because a lot of times it's not even that it's getting bulldozed, it's more just forgotten about. Or it's like, you know, sometimes we operate on a bigger level and we forget that the guys who are booking you know, some random country artist and letting them sleep on their couch 1 year, 2 years later, when they're playing 4,000, 8,000, 10,000 seats, that person should get a little piece of it, or at least be there as a tip of the hat to acknowledge. So just trying to balance that ecosystem, you know. I think it's important. I would never want to limit. I would never want, and again, being a neutral party, very important. I have friends who work in all aspects of all the businesses. I know great people that work at Live Nation, great people at AEG. Like, some of my favorite people are working, you know, in this industry, and I want to continue to work with them. It doesn't make sense to me when a venue comes out of the gate announcing that they're primarily exclusively booking with one entity or another, especially if they're not owned by that entity.
Right.
And it seems lazy to me, to be honest. But again, I think I felt that I was ambitious enough out of the gate to where, I mean, we did a lot of stuff in-house. You know, we did, especially in Ponte Vedra or the Backyard or some of the shows at the amphitheater, even, it's like, I was the promoter. So that just kind of carried over to, like, I like curating. And if you're leaving it as open as possible, you get the ability to curate. You don't limit yourself. You can genuinely look at the community and say, hey, don't worry, no matter what your favorite artist, we have this room that's available, that if they can fill it, or if they, you know, it's like, we have rooms to where we can put your favorite artist. If you go to someone in the community and say, we'd love to book this great band that you all love, but we can't because, you know, we only exclusively book with Live Nation, and they, you know, it's like, that's
you're in community with that.
Yeah, and the community goes, what are you even talking about? I don't even know what that means. Like, just book the band.
Yeah, exactly. And it's another great example of, you know, how about being selfless and just being able to partner with other people, partner with the community, partner with other promoters. And I think at the end, of people that have that kind of mindset, like in the long run, like I always think about the long game. Like, don't think just about the next 4 or 5 years, but as you're already talking about the Huntsville amphitheater, you're talking about 10 to 15, 20 years. And that's, I think, the kind of mindset you have to have that kind of longevity and that kind of success and support that you guys had at St. Augustine, which I'm sure you're going to have that in Huntsville also. So it's really awesome to have that kind of mindset. It's inspiring.
Live the life you love.